How does culture influence human rights? Have you ever wondered how our backgrounds shape our understanding of rights? Culture plays a huge role in how human rights are viewed and practiced around the world. Let's break it down. At its essence, culture consists of the values, beliefs, and social practices that guide how people behave and make ethical choices. These cultural elements shape what is seen as right or wrong, just or unjust. Since human rights are about dignity, freedom, and equality, their interpretation is closely tied to cultural contexts. One important idea here is cultural relativism. This concept suggests that moral standards and human rights can vary from one culture to another. What is considered a human right in one society may not be viewed the same way in another. For instance, certain customs accepted in one culture might be seen as violations of rights in another. Cultural relativism encourages us to respect and tolerate these differences, highlighting that moral rules are shaped by societal norms rather than universal truths. On the flip side, we have universalism. This perspective argues that human rights are inherent and should apply to everyone, no matter their cultural background. Universal human rights frameworks, like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, reflected this belief in shared moral standards that protect individuals everywhere. The tension between these two views creates an ethical challenge. We must balance respect for cultural diversity with the need to protect fundamental human rights. Some cultural practices may conflict with human rights principles, especially if they lead to discrimination or harm. From an ethical standpoint, cultural values should not be used to justify violations of basic rights. However, it is essential to implement human rights in a way that is culturally sensitive. This ensures that rights are meaningful and accessible in different societies. Moral pluralism offers a way to navigate these complexities. It acknowledges that there are multiple moral perspectives and encourages dialogue and mutual respect. This approach helps us understand that while cultures may have different views on dignity and freedom, these differences do not prevent us from sharing commitments to justice and well-being. In practical terms, promoting human rights requires thoughtful engagement with cultural contexts. Education, open communication, and inclusive participation are key to reconciling potential conflicts between cultural traditions and human rights norms. This way, we can support ethical decision-making that respects cultural identities while upholding universal principles of equality and justice. So, culture influences human rights by shaping the moral values and ethical frameworks through which rights are understood and practiced. While cultural relativism highlights the diversity of moral codes, universalism emphasizes common ethical foundations. Moral pluralism provides a balanced perspective that respects cultural differences while advocating for the protection of fundamental human rights everywhere.